Well, the family of a male student who was involved in a fight at Ardrey Kell HS has now filed a civil lawsuit. The lawsuit is seeking damages for libel, slander, defamation, assault and battery, and intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress. So the lawsuit also names the girl involved in the fight, her parents, their family spokesperson, and also others. The girl's family alleges that she was targeted due to her race and her religion. The FBI says this incident does not appear to be a hate crime. Let's bring in Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes to this conversation. Khalif, so this case really became ugly. We saw pictures of the female was involved in this fight. She needed facial reconstruction. Her family came out and said a lot of things. It really played out in media, and we're learning more about the fight that took place on school campus. But right now, this is a civil case from the male who was involved in this fight.
Yeah, this is a civil claim brought by his family, and I mean, obviously because he's still a juvenile, towards the family of the female that brought out the original allegations against him. And as you mentioned in the opening, there are a number of claims that are in here: assault, battery, and negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress. I mean, those are serious allegations to bring forth. But what is telling is CMS is not listed. You know, the school itself is not listed.
Right.
No administrator from the school is listed. You really have the female, you have her spokesperson, and you have someone in her family. And those are the types of things that rush to judgment, right? Mm-hmm. We're in that quick cancel culture. So when folks originally saw her injuries, everyone was labeling this kid as the aggressor. You know, he's this football player, he's this big athlete. Well, how could he have done that to this lady? They're saying in here that multiple people in the classroom saw the incident, and that the individual, the girl, approached the boy first, stood over top of him, and hit him first. After that, he called her the B word. Multiple times, he defended himself by hitting her back. She attempted to continue to hit him. He pushed her into the hallway. So if she was the initial aggressor, you have a right to defend yourself. And so the question then asks, well, how do we get to this civil complaint? The standard is for libel, you knew or should have known that the statements that you were making about me were false, right? Well, you guys had this press conference. You had the conversation with your client. You know that if she told you exactly what they're alleging in here, then you knew or should have known that the statements that you're making are false. So now we have a breakdown of miscommunication between client, and spokesperson, or client and the young lady and her family. Because if these things played out as they're alleging in this complaint, they shouldn't have been on TV saying 99% of the things that they were alleging, because she was the original aggressor, as what they're mentioning here. Looking
at this civil case, what are the hurdles that this family can face of getting this civil case to justice? Well,
I mean, the hurdles is the standard for the libel portion and slander portion is that knew or should have known, because he's or she's not a, or I should say he is not a public figure. You don't need that actual malice. But they even allege in here actual malice, that the things that were said and done to this young man were done with the intention to hurt him, that was done with the intention to hurt not just him, but his name, his likeness, his image, that they wanted to bring him down with these types of statements, showing pictures of him being, they had said, arrested, even though in the complaint they said he was never arrested.
Right.
Those are the types of statements that they allege would show. But they also have a lot of receipts. They have a communication and text message between the young lady and one of her friends that were in the classroom, basically asking her to change her statement, to make sure that her statement was consistent with what the female statement was, because she said most of the people in the classroom went to school with the young man, and they'll support him. So I need you to support me. My lawyer's telling me if you make these statements consistent, I have a better chance. Well, that doesn't look good. If you're trying to make sure that you're saying your statement's been consistent, well, you shouldn't be making other folks speak on your behalf and trying to line up your statements. You should just say, tell them what you saw. So they brought a lot of social media into this, because those were, off of social media communications. But I can say that her attorney, who's a his attorney, who's a former district court judge, she's doing her research. She's coming forward with the receipts with a case like this, because you don't want to make allegations against other people. You want to ensure that you have something to support those allegations.
Khalif Rhodes, we appreciate your insight. Thank you.